Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into my stay at the Sheraton Kauai Resort. So I love this resort and I love the entire island of Kauai. It was the perfect pace and quality, especially after my not so great stay at the Hilton Hawaiian Village Waikiki Beach Resort. If you want to see me bash that resort, I did a full review on that. I absolutely hated that place, but this place was totally different. But today it is all about the Sheraton Kauai and my stay there. So if you stick around to the end, I will give you my total review score out of 5 stars, and I'll also give you my 5-day itinerary while we were in Kauai, so kind of all the experience or excursions we did while we were staying there. First up, let's talk about the resort layout. So there's actually a road that runs right through the middle of the resort. There's kind of two different sides. I would say there's kind of a resort side and then there's a kind of a beachfront side. So the main road that runs right between them, it is not that busy. I call it a main road, but it's really the road that runs along the beach pretty much all the way down the island. So you do have those two different sides to the resort. The one thing about that is you cannot escape the elements if you're trying to get some, if you're on one side of the road, which is the beach side versus the resort side, there's no path to stay completely dry or out of the elements. So if you do catch yourself in a rainstorm, if you get across the road, you will get a little wet unless you have an umbrella or you're in a car, obviously. So a really nice touch with this Sheraton Kauai Resort is there's 2 pools, 2 gyms. So if you're on the resort side or on the beachfront side, there's a pool and a gym for both of you. Also, the public restrooms throughout the resort are pretty excellent and they're always super clean. Everything in this resort is really clean, so that is a nice touch as well. The check-in process for this resort was completely different from the Hilton Hawaiian Village. It was kind of right into the lobby. It's just way lower key. There was a lot less people, which means that everything was a little bit calmer. So that is more my speed, which is probably why I like this resort better. Check-in, absolutely no issue. So let's get into the room. So just to let you know, we had an oceanfront room. So we were on the beach side and we were right kind of, if you're looking at the resort and check-ins behind you, we were all the way to the right and the far, so it's spread out along the beach. So the rooms were very spacious, very well laid out. They were very comfortable and clean, everything I absolutely loved. The only thing I would say is there was only 2 of us in our room, and when you're in Hawaii for 10 days, you have a lot of luggage. So there wasn't a whole lot of space to put your luggage. So just a heads up there, if you're gonna have up to 4 people in a room, this could get a little bit tight. The ice machines that were close to our room worked amazingly well. We had absolutely no issues. There was waters in the room. Thank you, Sheraton. It's such an easy win to put free water in the rooms, because otherwise everybody needs water and you're running around trying to figure it out. So the smaller water bottles were free. The larger ones you had to pay for, but you could always ask for more of the smaller water bottles. So heads up there. And if you bring a reusable water bottle yourself, there was fill stations all over the resort, like I stated. So that's a really great addition as well. So getting into the bathrooms, we did have a double sink. One of our family members had a room that was farther down along the beach. It was closer to the pool. They did not have a double sink, but they had a much wider, I would say, like sliding glass door. So you actually had a little bit better views. That was the main difference. But the bathroom overall was wonderful. We had a double sink, absolutely huge shower, great shower pressure, no issues with clogging in anything, the sinks or anything like that. Everything was really laid out. They had soaps, body washes, conditioners actually in the shower as well on the wall, which was kind of, you know, local to Sheraton or whatever they use for the brand. So everything in the bathroom was exquisite. Another huge plus for the Sheraton Kauai is the beds. The beds were very comfortable. So we had 2 queens in our room, like I said, with the ocean front on the far right side if check-in's behind you. The beds were incredible. The other thing, such another easy win like water for me, is the pillows. Plenty of pillows. They were big, they held their shape. They had different kinds between the firm or the softer, and I think there was like 4 per bed. It was just incredible. If you can get good pillows at a resort, it is such an easy win to make my stay so much better. I'm sure there's people out there that agree with me, but pillows were amazing and beds were amazing at the Sheraton Kauai. So one downfall for this room is the AC. Not that it didn't work well. The AC kept the room super cool and it was wonderful, but the unit was actually right next to one of the beds, and when it came on, it sounded like a jet engine was starting. I've never ran into a super loud AC unit before. I don't know if it was our room specifically. I don't think our family complained about the AC unit, so it could have just been our room. So take that for what it is, but it was quite loud, and in the middle of the night when it would kick on, it would sometimes catch me out of my REM sleep, and then obviously I'd go back to bed. But like doing that for a 5-day, you know, can kind of make you a little bit more tired than you're used to. So AC worked amazing, just was a bit loud. Okay, another amazing part of this is the technology. The TV had a full guide, plus had the ability to sign into your Netflix, and then would sign you out when you checked out, or you could obviously manually sign out. I love that. I think that's another big win for resorts when they're upgrading their technology, keeping up with the TVs. Completely opposite to the Hilton Waikiki Beach Resort, Hawaiian Village, they had a DVD player and DVD rentals in the lobby. DVD rentals. So this one had everything on the TV, guides in there, a full menu as well, plus the ability to log into your Netflix, which is such a huge bonus for me as well. So another little perk I think that makes the Sheraton Kauai such a wonderful stay. So talk about Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi in our room was fine. We didn't have any issues. Our family members who were staying farther down closer to the pool on the beach side of the resort said that their Wi-Fi signal was a bit weak. We actually had weak cell phone service where our family did not, so they were actually switched. I'm not sure why our cell phone service was a little bit weak. It wasn't in the point where we couldn't make calls or anything, but it was quite a bit slower. So just a heads up there, depending on which side of the resort you're on, we did have some of those issues. So that was the cell coverage. Oh, and last thing, the very last night that we stayed there, I did find a cockroach in the bathroom. So not great, wasn't too happy about that, but I only saw one of them. From what I've heard, Hawaii can have some of those issues. Obviously, it's an island, but I only saw one. It was the only time I saw that. Didn't see any of that at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, to be fair. Even though I found those rooms very gross, I didn't see any insects, so just a heads up. Okay, let's get out into the activities for the Sheraton Kauai. What can you do there? So there's, I'll start with kind of the resort side, like I talked about on the other side of the road, not on the beach side. That has its own pool as well. Around that pool, there's grills and electrical outlets, and it looks like a little food kiosk. I only visited this pool, there's a plane, early in the morning. So it was obviously low key. I didn't visit it in the middle of the day when it would have been busy. I'll let you know about the beachside pool during the middle of the day, because that does get a little bit, that was really busy when we were there. But the resort side has the ability to grill and has outlets and has under shade seating and beach chairs, umbrellas, all that kind of stuff. So heading over to the other pool, which is on the beach side, this was the one closest to our rooms. Our entire family was on the beach side of the resort. So this pool got really busy. It also had the hot tub. It also had like a little beach shop where you could rent body boards or get surf lessons. It had sunscreens, hats, shirts, things like that you could buy as well. And then it had all the pools and umbrellas around the pool specifically. You could also rent cabanas around the outside of this area. They, from what I understand, are $225 per day, which is a little bit pricier than what I'm used to seeing for cabanas, but it is Hawaii. I think in Mexico we paid about $125, $150 per day for a cabana, but they came with, lots of covered lounged areas. I think it had like a cooler in there as well. I don't remember seeing TVs inside of those cabanas, so just a heads up there. But overall, this pool was quite busy. So right next to this pool as well was Lava's. Lava's is kind of the poolside beachfront restaurant at the Kauai Sheraton Resort. And you could get drinks, and the servers were coming in and out of there for either the poolside service or obviously taking care of the restaurant guests, but it is literally right next to the pool, so I won't have any issues getting drinks or food served to you right at the pool as well. Okay, getting into the beach. So there is a rocky part of the beach, and then there is a sandy part of the beach. So right in front of our room was actually the rocky portion. We were at the far end of the resort on the beach side, towards the rocky area. There was a little public parking area where surfers in the morning and the afternoon seemed to park there, and they'd kind of traverse along the rocks to get out to the waves and then surf for hours. The beach side also had a bunch of locals, as well as the Sheraton Resort guests. And that got pretty busy with surfers and people just playing in the water and things like that. But realize there is a beach area where it's not as rocky, but there is rocky areas in front of parts of the resort. So it's not just all beach. It's kind of congregated the sandy part to where most people get in and out of the water, because it's quite a bit safer, obviously. But yeah, so there's a good mix of local people and Sheraton Resort people who hang out at the beach pretty much all day, but with the pool right there. And they do have chairs you can rent that are facing the beach. I wouldn't say they're exactly on the sand. They're more along the perimeter of like the walkway in front of the resort. So you can also rent those as well as the cabanas. But yeah, there's plenty of things going on. There's like a chessboard. They had some cornhole boards and things like that going on. So it's a good amount of activities to do at the Sheraton besides just kind of hang out by the beach of the pool. Okay, now that we're all dressed up, let's talk about the food service and just restaurants overall. So I would have to say, compared to the Hilton Waikiki Hawaiian Village, this food was actually reasonably priced kind of all around. So a couple things I want to note here. We ate at a couple places, not everywhere though. The room service was actually quite good. We got, I think, room service for breakfast twice, which was reasonably priced, and the food was actually quite excellent. The chocolate cake as well, I did get for dessert the one night. If you're going to get it and it's 2 of you, only get 1 of them because it is absolutely massive and it's way too much, I believe, to get 2 cakes for 2 people. 2 people can share 1 slice. So another thing with Hawaii in general, the pog juice, if you don't try it while you're in Hawaii, please do. The pog juice is amazing, and that goes right along with the Kauai, or the Sheraton Kauai. The pog juice there was a must. Eating at Lava's, we ate at Lava's, I think once or twice. We had breakfast there and then more of a lunch dinner setup. The food at Lava's to me was okay. The service at the service at pretty much everything, whether it be the coffee shop, Lava's, or restaurant, guest services, or like room service, was all excellent. So the service across the entire resort was amazing, front desk included. So Lava's food was okay. The drinks though were exceptional. So if you're looking to go get some drinks or just have some drinks, I would certainly head to Lava's because they're good, and their happy hour is actually pretty great. The prices are very reasonable for a resort because usually they're out of control. And the happy hour is worth certainly going to. So we didn't have any issues with Lava's, just besides the food was okay. It was a 3 out of 5. So Rum Fire is kind of their very exclusive restaurant. I didn't personally, my wife and I didn't go there. We did have a family that went there for dinner the one night. They said the food was amazing. They said the dessert was amazing, but it was very, very, very pricey. So realize if you're gonna get a reservation for Rum Fire, it should be kind of a special occasion because you're definitely gonna lay down some bills for a meal there. So the other place we experienced while we were there was kind of the coffee cafe. That gets pretty busy in the morning, as you would imagine, but they had a nice selection of drinks and even small like breakfast sandwiches and things like that. Their cooler also had beer selections as well, so if you don't want to run to a store or anything, they did have that there at the coffee cafe. They also had sugar-free Red Bull, which is a huge plus for me because I'm always scouring the earth when we travel looking for my sugar-free Red Bull. Shopping, not too much shopping on the actual premises of the resort. There was a couple things in the coffee shop, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I do not remember seeing, and there was a couple like shopping areas around the coffee shop and kind of in the middle of the beachside area, but there's a bee right on my lens, but not too much shopping. But there is a short 10-minute walk up to a small shopping plaza where they have a couple good restaurants like Kyoki's. There's shopping up there, so if you want to head up there, we actually head up there one afternoon. I got some shirts, they have t-shirts and ice cream parlors and things like that up in the arena. But you can walk up there and you go through this nice little, what would you call it? Nice little like park greenery flower area, which is cool, and then up through and then across a highway. So definitely check out the shopping up there. Okay, let's give the overall score out of 5 for the Sheraton Kauai. So I'd give it a 4 out of 5. So one thing, the food and food options were okay, so it probably brings the score down a little bit. But the rooms were incredible, comfortable, beds, pillows, bathroom, everything was clean, and it was just such a great transition from what we stayed in at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, which was gross. So the rooms I absolutely loved. The views were incredible as well. Absolutely beautiful, whether you're on the rocky side of the beach or you're on the beach side of the beach closer to the pool, or even if you're on the resort side across the street. Just the landscaping and everything in the area was wonderful. And the other thing about this resort, it's quiet. So when you go from somewhere like Waikiki, which is chaos and super expensive, when you go to Kauai in general, that island just is so much calmer. If you don't know, construction in Kauai can't be higher than the tallest palm tree, so it also allows for, you know, there's not as many people because there's not as many places to stay, and construction doesn't go high, it kind of goes wide. So the overall resort, just calm, beautiful. The beaches were amazing, views, everything like that. Like I said, service was also amazing. Just realized that there's not a ton of food options, and the food was okay in my opinion, and there's no real shopping on the resort either. Okay, so let's talk about my 5-day itinerary for staying in Kauai. So a couple of things here. I have a couple other reviews as well on Kauai. So we did a helicopter ride over the entire island of Kauai, which was absolutely incredible. I have a separate review video on that. We also visited the salt pond area. There's like a salt pond beach. So we did that. We also visited a couple bays. My daughter and her boyfriend and some of our family also did a Nepali Coast raft boat ride, which they said incredible. My wife and I didn't end up going to that, which I wish we would have, but we were worried about, we had some upset stomachs that day, and they said that boat ride can get a little choppy. If you go early in the morning, it's supposed to be better, so just a heads up there. I don't have a separate review for that because I didn't go. but they also did that as well. So plenty of things to do. We also drove up through the canyon in Kauai. So it's a big canyon kind of park area that you can drive up through and drive back down. So you pull off and see lots of amazing views there. So we did that as well. So just a lot of relaxing, getting local food, checking out local vendors and things like that. And then seeing parts of the island that you really can't drive to from the helicopter. And then my family also doing the Poly Coast raft rides, the boat ride. So that wraps up my review of the Sheraton Kauai. Remember, I have lots of Hawaii specific review videos of excursions and also staying at the Hilton Hawaiian Village in Waikiki inside of this playlist package. So certainly just look for the Hawaii playlist and you can cover the excursions and things we went on. So if you have any questions about this specific review, leave them down below. I'm very good at getting back to the questions or comments that are left on my videos. So hopefully this was helpful. If you need anything, leave them down below. Other than that, I'll catch you in the next video.